in this section, I want to show you how to figure the length of a stringer. And your stair would look something like this. The platform would be here, and the floor would be here. And then these are what you walk on. These are called treads, and these are risers. So over here, this is our stringer. Here's our treads. Here's our riser. And then this is our platform, and we get this measurement by just taking a tape measure and measuring from our floor to the top of the platform. And so this area here is called our total rise, and when we measured that, we had 89 inches. And then there's some things you have to know. You have to know that the ideal riser height, this height here, is 7 inches. The ideal tread is somewhere between 10 and 11 inches, or the combination would be like 17 or 18 inches. So what we have to do, we could get by if we just had long enough legs. We could step from here to here, but unfortunately, some of us are short. And so what we have to do is we have to figure out how many risers we need. And so I take my total rise, which is 89 inches, and I divide that by the ideal riser, which is 7 inches. And when I come up with that, my number would be 12.7 something. I really don't care about this number. This is the number I care about because that's how many risers I have. And then you always have one less tread than riser because my top tread is here, the platform. Okay, so now what we know is that we have 12 risers, we have one less tread, so we have 11 tread. And if each of our treads are 10 inches, then I can figure out the distance from here to the bottom of my stringer, or it would be from this point to this point where this lands. And so I take remember each one of these we said was around 10 inches, and if I have 11 of them, if I take that 11 times my 10, then my total run is 110 inches. Okay? And then, so if you remember the Pythagorean theorem, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where our a squared, remember, was our total rise, which is 89 inches. Our b squared would be our total run, which is 110 inches. So if I take my 89 times 89, it would come out to 7921. So I get 7921, and b squared would be 110 times 110, which is 12100. And when I add my 79.21 and my 12100, I come out with 20021, and then I take the square root of that to get this length here. Remember, this is c squared. So when I hit the square root of that, it comes out to 141.49558 inches. And then if we remember how to convert inches to feet and inches, when we take this 141.49558 and divide by 12, I come up with 11 feet, 0.791298. And again, I'm going to take off the 11, which leaves me the 0.791298. This is inches, so I'm going to minus that out. I have 12 inches in a foot. I multiply that times 12, and I get 9.495 inches. So right now I've got 11 feet, 9 inches, and then I'm going to minus a 9, which gives me my 0.495. 16, I read it in 16, so times 16 equals 8/16, or 1/2 inch. So my length here would be 11 foot, 9 1/2 inches. And since our stringers come in multiples of 2, the stringer then would be a 12-foot stringer. what we found out now. We know our total rise, our total run. We know the length of stringer we have. We also know how many risers and how many treads. What we don't know is the exact height of each riser. We know that the ideal riser is around 7 inches. So I'm going to take that 89 inches divided by 7, and I know I got 12 of them. So now I'm going to take this, my rise doesn't change. So I'm going to take that 89 and I'm going to divide now by the number of risers I have. So when I divide this 89 by 12, it gives me 7.416666, repeating out. So we know our total rise now. We know how many risers we have. We know that the ideal rise is 7 inches. So if I take my 12, divide into here, I get 7.4166. 7 inches, and then this is my fraction. Smallest fraction on my tape is 16, so I'm going to take the 7.4166 minus the 7, gives me 0.4166, multiply it times 16, and I get 6.6656. Since this number is larger than 5, I'm going to raise this to a 7, and it'd be 7/16. So each of my risers then would be 7 and 7/16.